Hey, greetings YouTube. Is your Dyson V11 just not working like it used to? Or do you just want to keep it in tip-top working order and protect your investment? Well, I'm not sure I can protect your investment with a quoted lifespan of 2 to 4 years, but I'll at least show you how to maintain it and get the most out of it while you have it. As we all know, the V11 is bagless, which means when you're done using it, you need to empty it every time. Don't let the dirt sit in there. And then you need to take care of this filter, and we'll talk more about the filter in a minute. After you've emptied it, a lot of times it can still be really, really dirty and nasty in there. Now, little tip. There we go. You can pull this off. And again, this should not be your only vacuum. You can take your full-size vacuum and help clean it out. Well, that already looks better with our dustbin, like so. Oh, light is gone. I want to start off by saying that if your machine is under 2 years, it's probably covered under Dyson's limited warranty. So keep that in mind. If you're having issues with it turning on, charging, etc., call Dyson, the 1-800 number that's listed right here, or their website. I'll take that off. The 1-800 number listed on the battery can provide a lot of information, and it's a good way to get warranty and free stuff from Dyson if something breaks. Now, that being said, hopefully you're watching this and something's not totally wrong with your machine. Now, if your machine is over 4 years old and you're watching this in the far future, it's time to replace the machine. Dyson says this should last 2 to 4 years. Past 4 years, I wouldn't do anything more than like a filter or a brush roller. Maybe a battery if they're economical. Nothing more than that. So let's start with the nozzle, because this is something that's overlooked, and it's a 25-cent heads or tails tip. So just rotate that like so, and push with the brush roller, get it out. The end cap will separate. You'll see there's dirt in here. And we have a lot of debris and stuff that gets stuck in here. The machine really doesn't have the power to pull everything out of here like a full-size vacuum, as I've discussed in other videos. The thing you want to do is keep this clean, and you want to really look and make sure nothing is cracked right here, or issues that are known with the V11's nozzle. You want to make sure this is nice and clean as well. Mine is dirty. I have only had it for about 2 months, and it is filthy. So we're going to go ahead and just put a little bit of Windex. You can use 409 or something like that as well. Something that doesn't leave a residue. And just wipe that, and you can see what I just wiped off there as well. Now, if it's dirty in here, again, the best thing you're going to be able to do is clean it out with your full-size vacuum. Wow, that's looking a lot better. There's still some stubborn pieces. You can take a dry brush and try to get in there and get them off, but that looks a lot better in general. Again, the underpowered nature of these sort of things does mean they require a little bit more maintenance and care than maybe some of their other machines. Also, the design department of Dyson isn't necessarily the best. I've been really critical of Dyson because of the price point of their product. Again, I think this is fine if this was marketed at a product at half its price range, but the price that they try to charge for these things, I think the lack of quality is unacceptable personally. You can get in and around the brush motor, like so with a rag, which helps clean out the nozzle. This being a clear nozzle, it's going to be tempted to want to clean this more often than needed. But I'd say every 6 months or so, you probably want to do this, and just, like I said, just to clean out the nozzle as best as possible. And that looks really good now. This will get foggy over time. There's not much you can do about that. You can like get furniture polish or something and stick it in there that tends to attract dirt and dust. The other thing that will happen over time is the bristles will fall out of this. It's an issue. They've had this design forever. You can either buy third party or get a replacement genuine Dyson. I would, again, if it's under warranty, hold them accountable. So that's how we're going to clean that on there. And we're just going to, when we put this back together, there's a little diagram that tells you which way to turn this. And there's a flat side to this, and that matches up with the bottom. And there we go. Again, use a quarter, don't use a screwdriver. It tends to make this notch last a little longer. So that's as good as that's going to be. And of course, you want to just check, make sure there's nothing stuck in here. That quarter drops free. It's a good sign. Again, with your wand, do the same thing. Make sure the quarter drops free through there. Now going to your power unit. Depending on the V11 you have, there's two different models. There is a SV14, which the battery is non-removable. There's an SV15 where the battery is removable. This is the newer, so we're going to throw that battery to the side. That way we don't accidentally turn it on while we're doing the rest of this. Now, if you have a non-removable battery, what you can do is take the filter off, and that keeps it from turning on as well. So we are going to set the filter aside, and let's talk about cleaning in here. Okay, say you vacuumed in here with your regular household vacuum and you're not satisfied. You can pull this off. There's a red tab here. My suggestion is to go wash this and let this sit and dry overnight. Everything in here you can wipe down with a microfiber helps. The plastic does scratch easily. Again, if the machine's not under warranty or older, you can take a little bit of furniture polish and that will help renew this gasket here. Again, this will attract more dirt, so keep that in mind. You don't want to do this too often, but every once in a while, it's good for the gaskets. The next thing we want to do is we want to check in here for a clog or a blockage. And you can see right through here, you can just see, and we'll get a close-up of that. Yeah, you can see that there's light through there. And if there's a blockage, you won't be able to see the light, and you'll be able to pull the item out. This is about as far as you ever want to go in terms of maintaining or working with Dyson. Let's talk about washing filters. I'd say every 3 to 6 months, this whole thing should just be replaced. The genuine ones are kind of pricey. There's a whole bunch of generic ones available. Now, what I would do in terms of washing this is if you get the paper wet, that's bad. This paper is fine enough. It can absorb the impurities in your water and actually clog the filter worse. Also, water has a tendency to dissolve paper, so I don't recommend getting this wet despite what the instructions say. However, this part with the faucet, the cotton filter, does very well when you get it wet. Grab yourself a screwdriver, be careful, and you're just going to wedge up and pull this filter apart. And you'll just feel the clips. It's a little unnerving. Try not to break them, and they will come apart. Again, try not to destroy anything. You want to be careful. And that separates that. Now this part, normally I would launder this in a bag, but mine's not too bad. We'll go hand wash it. And again, we're not going to do anything with that part. We're at my basement sink here, and we're going to talk about washing this. Now, you don't want to use dish soap. That will leave a residue and cause more dirt to accumulate or clog the filters and stuff. So generally, bad idea, don't use that. This thing, doesn't matter what you wash it out with. Particularly, I like using a little bit of Tide in a spray bottle. I find that to be a very good combination, along with just a normal sponge. I find this to be excellent at cleaning out whatever's in here, and just really getting it clean. You can also use a paintbrush as well, like so. Like I said, that's about all the soap I'm going to use. Let's set that over to dry. This does come out, by the way. If you take the screw, this will come out. This thing right here that I pulled out and told you should separate, if you've successfully done that, you can hear my cat. There's two ways to clean this. You can use laundry detergent. I personally prefer this unique enzyme-based cleaner. This eliminates odors and so forth and doesn't leave anything sticky. So if the machine is stinky, that's what to use. If the machine is not stinky, a little bit of laundry detergent. Again, a little bit. And then you want to make sure you use cold water, and you just want to wash this thoroughly. Again, this is not an eco-friendly process because you end up having to do this pretty much every time you vacuum or get the bin full. And also taking it off that frame allows you to rinse it and get it really clean. All right, mine is looking pretty clean now. And again, I don't see why you'd want to touch the dirt in 2020 when there are plenty of vacuums that you don't need to do this with, that are far more portable and less expensive. So we'll let this dry at least overnight. I started doing this off camera, I'm sorry, but I was just putting the filter on. It's nice and dry now. Everything works nice. That's nice and clean. We're just going to test the brush roller, make sure it works. Excellent. Well, thanks for watching. Please consider giving us a subscription to Performance Reviews. Give us a thumbs up and check out some of the other videos.